I thought there was one more Alzheimer's or not. Oh no! It was improvement in memory. How about that one?
Sure. We're staying in a theme today, apparently.
But I haven't studied this one so well, so I don't know if I can explain it but apparently they have done electrical stimulation on the brain. It reminded me of Alzheimer's, right? Electrical
Hmm.
stimulation um, of human participants in a trial, and then they had better memory. They were better at recalling information for up to a month. Imagine that. Are you linking it in the chat?
I'm showing it right now. So, brain stimulation leads to
Right.
long-lasting improvements in memory. It's published in Nature Neuroscience. I can link the original article
Oh,
as
that's clear. Yeah.
well. Um, ah, or maybe I can't. Come on. There we go.
So it was.
Long-lasting dissociable improvements in working memory and long-term memory in older adults with repetitive neuromodulation by Shrey Grover, Wen Wen, Vighnesh Viswanathan, Christopher Gill, and Robert Reinhart. Um, just came out 2 weeks ago. So, yeah, they use repetitive 4-day transcranial alternating current stimulation. So basically, they were
Yeah.
zapping the brains of 65 to 88-year-old people
Yes, with alternating current. Interesting.
yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. I thought you did it with magnetic fields, but okay, they do it with alternating currents.
That is just, straight AC just jamming in there. I wonder who signed up for this. I wouldn't have.
I wonder if it's below the pain threshold, because I thought this before. I once got told that apparently these experiments can hurt if you do the electrical stimulation through the scalp.
Mm-hmm.
That would worry me if it would actually hurt.
I mean, they did it for 4 days, so if it hurt, they didn't mind too much, apparently.
Yeah. Okay.
If
Maybe
I
it was.
signed up for a study in the first day, they strapped some electrodes to my brain and, zapped me like, I am not coming back tomorrow, okay?
No, of course not. No, they would have stopped. Okay. Okay. So they were doing the task while they were stimulated with the transcranial stimulation, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and but then did they also have a waiting period?
Well, I think they
Something?
talk
Because
about, so they tested the long-term memory by asking the participants to recall those words, both at short term over 4 days, like consecutive days, and a month later. So
oh
the
yeah, that's what I was looking for. The month later. Okay.
mhm. So they tested the participants again after a while to see if it
Hmm.
was actually remembered or just stored in short-term memory.
And they also did two different brain areas. They did the dorsolateral prefrontal cortex.
Yeah, that didn't, of course, did
And
nothing.
inferior parietal lobe.
Let's.
And the dorsolateral prefrontal cortex. That had a benefit. It had a benefit. It did something. It improved their ability to remember words from the beginning of the list.
Oh, right.
And also they did high frequency stimulation there. Maybe they tried many things, and they did low frequency zaps to the inferior parietal lobe,
Mm-hmm.
and that was so that's like close to hippocampus, if I'm right. I can't.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, so that's the items later in the list. So that's working memory. Okay, so they did like what's the cortex called there? It's not retrospective. I'm sorry, I forgot the name. The cortex next to hippocampus.
What do you
Inferior
mean?
parietal lobe. Yeah, I mean the inferior, but there I thought there was another name. I'm sorry, it's fine.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter. It's just a name. So that area on the side of your head where we think working memory lives. Okay, so I guess that checks out.
Well, presumably it's been published. So somebody else here, Dr. Simon Hanselmeyer in Glasgow, explains that the scientific community has been a little bit skeptical about transcranial alternating current stimulation because
Yes.
it uses very low current, so it's questionable whether the electricity actually penetrates the brain.
Yeah, because you're not supposed to hurt your participants too much. They will not come
Also,
back the next day.
exactly, and so maybe one of the reasons why it did work this time and why other studies didn't find strong effects before was because they've both done it over several days, so many repeated exposures, and because
Mm.
it involved people over the age of 65. So if you already have a good memory, you don't gain a benefit from transcranial alternating current
Uh,
stimulation. But if you don't have good memory, or if your memory is in decline, then it can highlight a certain small benefit becomes more
okay.
apparent. So that could
Okay.
explain why it worked this time, while it hasn't really worked that well before, apparently.
Mm. Do they write anything? Because I'm only reading the the brief summary. Did they write anything about the frequency of stimulation?
Um,
No, wait,
I'm
what did they
sure
say
it's in the
here?
methods if you're interested.
Yeah, but I thought maybe they had like some gamma rhythm or theta rhythm that entrained something, you know. They usually like those things. I know you don't like those things,
Um,
but these people usually like those kind of things.
so they've used sham, dorsolateral PFC gamma, and
Yeah, I
ABL
see.
theta. Experiment 2, they
Oh,
used sham, theta, and gamma. Yeah.
oh yeah, it's low frequency steps. Okay, so they used theta for the inferior parietal and gamma for prefrontal cortex. That's what you would do. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
because theta is thought to entrain gamma also, I think, in hippocampus, and then that forms memories.
It's shown
And
a little bit in figure 1. I'm linking it now. Um,
okay,
So they've
I,
performed a 3D reconstruction of the cortical surface and how the electricity would spread throughout. Um,
ah, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, but it makes sense. Then it makes sense to use the different frequencies. I think it's based on earlier research,
mhm.
the
And
high and the
that's
low
the
frequency.
reason why basic science is so important.
Yes.
Shall we go on?
Yes.